So I just got finished seeing Captain Marvel, and boy, do I have some stuff to share about this film. So here's the deal, you guys. I have seen all kinds of reviews about this film. It seems that some people loved it and some people hate it. So we're going to get into my thoughts about this film, but listen, we can't ignore the elephant in the room. We can't ignore the drama, the controversy that has come up over this film, because some people didn't like the way that Brie Larson represented herself as she was promoting the film. They thought she was pushing a feminist agenda, and they weren't down for that in their MCU films. Now, people were making videos all over YouTube, everybody making videos about how the film was going to flop, looking at the fallen Rotten Tomato scores, everybody saying, I told you, did we do any of that on this channel? No! Because I don't care about that. Now, somebody out there is saying, boy, what a jerk! But wait a minute, guys, what you should know is that I was so excited when I found out that Marvel was giving us our first female superhero lead, and on top of that, I got even more excited when I found out she was going to be the most powerful hero we've seen so far in the MCU. I said, yes, it's about time. But not for reasons you might think, my friends. The reason I feel that way is because the Marvel Universe is full of diversity. Man, we got red, black, green, yellow, white, purple, orange heroes. I say let's get them all on screen, because that's what's actually in the universe. Let's represent everybody. And I was so excited about Captain Marvel because she was our first female and because she was going to be so powerful. I said, yes, this should be good. And plus, they'd hyped it up so much that I was just looking for somebody that was just so insanely powerful. I said, how are they going to execute this? I can't wait. Because at the end of the day, all I really wanted to see was a good movie. All I wanted was more of Marvel, more of what we've gotten. I wanted that good stuff, that comic book filmage. Now, I'm sad to say that unfortunately, this film does a lot of things that are problematic to me. The first thing we have to talk about, you guys, is we have to talk about the tone of the film. This does not feel like an MCU film. It does not. There are rules when you are making an MCU film, and the tone has to be the same as the other MCU films. Why? Because it's the connective tissue that binds all of the other works together. It's the thing that makes us feel so passionate about the films in our hearts. And when that's missing, you feel it. And the fact that this movie did not have that tone, that vibe, that feel, I could not get over it. It bothered me throughout the whole film. Now, wait a minute. You might be thinking, well, this film was diverse. It took a different take. It was a different look. It was a different approach on MCU films, and we appreciated that difference. Let me tell you, my friends, you can have that and still have the overarching MCU tone and feel and vibe. The good example of that is Thor Ragnarok, which was very different than the other Thor films, but at the same time, it had that connective tissue. It had that MCU feel. We don't get that here. Next, the pacing of this film was a real problem for me. I mean, it does start off with a nice little sequence, and you're like, okay, wow, all right, let's see where this thing is going, and then it slows down through acts 1 and 2. Where was the dynamism? Now, don't get me wrong, I understand that they had to set up the characters, and this is an origin story, so we do need to learn more about who she is as a hero, especially since we do expect to see her in more upcoming films. I get that, and I get the establishment of the relationship between her and Nick Fury being important. All of that, I understand, I'm with you. But at the same time, man, you showed us a hero that was just so hyped up. We need more dynamism. This story should have been written differently, with a little more execution of her, showing her powers in ways that we hadn't seen before. And we didn't get that. The first 2 acts were very slow, and that was a problem for me. Had some issues with the dialogue in this as well, and I wasn't surprised to find out that there were multiple writers in this. And maybe that's why the dialogue felt a little stiff. It felt a little disjointed. Didn't feel very fluid. I wasn't riding the wave. And I think that the dialogue also had a really hard time connecting us with some of the other characters in this movie, characters in which we were supposed to believe they had a very tight relationship. But the dialogue doesn't come across to allow that to happen. And this wasn't a performance issue. This was a writing issue. Now, I know you're probably thinking, good grief, Al, give this movie a break. And there are some good things about this film, but I do have to say the most disappointing thing about this movie to me was the fight choreography. We only got 2, really, in my opinion, big action set pieces, and they were underwhelming. I thought the fight choreography was executed poorly in this movie. I wasn't super impressed. I did think the CGI was impressive. There's something nice to say. But in terms of the execution of the fight choreography and the execution of her powers, I really wanted to see more. I was expecting to see something that was mind-blowing. and that is not what I got. Now wait a minute, I don't want you to think the film was all bad, because it wasn't. There were some things that I was really impressed about this film, and the CGI was amazing, and the aging technology here is impeccable, and it's super exciting because it gives us an idea of the potential of what we could see in future films. Remember, we saw something like this in Guardians of the Galaxy and Kurt Russell's character as well. So I was really impressed by that. I thought the CGI overall in this film wasn't bad. There were some spots where you definitely could tell it was CGI, but overall I thought the CGI execution in this film was pretty darn good. I also thought the performances in this film weren't bad. Do I think that Brie Larson was the best fit for this? No, because there were times, if I'm being honest, that she did seem a bit stiff in the role, and I would have liked to have seen maybe Alicia Vikander in this role. I think she would have been perfect for it, I'm just saying. But overall, I thought the performances were actually pretty good in this movie. I have nothing bad to say outside of what I just shared concerning that. So all in all, should you go see this film? Yes! You should go see this film, definitely, if you are planning on seeing it, because honestly, you are going to need the big screen to get as much appreciation of this film as you can. Because I do not think it was dynamic enough for you to wait to see it at home on Redbox, on your little TV. No, you're going to need the benefit of the big screen to enjoy this movie. All in all, if I had to give this movie a grade, which I don't normally do, I probably would give it a C on a rating scale with a number, maybe a 70. Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell and join the best community here on YouTube. And if you like comic book content, comic book movies, comic book TV shows, make sure you check out the list right over here. I will see you guys in the comments. Don't forget to like and share. Peace.